Welcome to Texas School Tools. During this demonstration video, we will show you how to generate an LPAC Summary Report for your campus to display all of the students currently enrolled in their the LPAC program or an ELL program and check their current status. Okay, to do that, we must of course have already had our LPAC data entered into the system. And then we're going to go to our report toolbox on the menu bar and click on LPAC Report Tools. Then on our left-hand pane, we move our mouse over that information. If we have more than one campus listed in our district, we'll simply select the campus that we want to run the report for. There is only one campus in this demo district, so we'll just go ahead and leave it with that one. And now we have the option to choose to run a report for all students or just for one particular student. Let's go ahead and start out by running a report for all students, and then we'll go back and show you what an individual student report looks like as well, which is very similar. So we'll go ahead and click on All Students, and our information will appear in our data pane. And first off, it does tell us at the top of the list that the ELL participant and bilingual ESL program definitions in the table below are actual program codes for funding purposes and do not reflect the LPAC meeting recommendations, if any. So what that basically means is that when you're entering an LPAC, you have the option to put in the LPAC recommendations as well as the actual program codes, which would correspond to your PEIMS program codes. This report is looking at your PEIMS program code so that you can compare what's actually happening at your campus instead of just what's recommended by the LPAC. Frequently, those two pieces of information will be the same, but in the event that they are not, it would show the actual program codes to give you an actual picture of what's going on. So the information across the top of the bar will tell us what these columns mean. Of course, we've got our student last name, first name, and middle initial, their local ID, their current enrollment date, the parent permission code that was returned on their parent permission request letter, the student's home language, which comes from the home language survey, whether or not they are participating in an LEP program, as either not ELL or ELL, and their bilingual or ESL program status. And this is the text that will correspond to their either their bilingual or their ESL program that they are currently assigned to in their PEIMS codes. It will also show us our last LPAC date as well as the days since enrollment. So this is the way our columns are laid out, and this report is actually broken out into 3 individual sections, and we'll kind of walk through each of these sections and show you what they mean. The first section is listed for students who are missing LPAC data but who have a home language survey other than English. In other words, you received a home language survey for a student. It is not an English language, but an LPAC has not yet been conducted. So we can look across this information and see, of course, there's no parent permission code because there's no LPAC that's been completed yet. So there's no LEP participation information, nor bilingual information, nor LPAC date, but it does give us our home language of Spanish. You'll notice that the days since enrollment, of course, it's 744. This is some demo data, so this would not be realistic. But if your student were were approaching the 20 days that are required to perform an LPAC for a student, the testing and the LPAC for a student based on their home language survey, this is kind of a good time marker for you to keep an eye on. The next section of this report will display our active ELL program students. And again, in this section we'll see our parent permission codes, the home language survey. There is no home language survey on file for this student as of yet, and I'll show you how to enter those in another video. We'll see here they're both listed as ELL students in the transitional bilingual early exit programs. These are their LPAC dates and their days since enrollment. The remaining section of this report covers all other students that are enrolled at the campus but do not have a home language survey on file. This is, of course, important for legal reasons as well as to make sure that we're capturing the right students in our LPAC program. So this kind of gives you a highlight of which students are missing that information so that you can then go back and check and enter their home language surveys as necessary. So this is the overview of the summary report for the entire campus, and as I mentioned, you can also run a report for an individual student. So let's go ahead and choose this student that currently has an active ELL program with complete information. So we're going to go ahead and choose Stephanie Abbott, one of our test students. And we'll see the information for that student as well. So I can limit it down to just one student or look at the entire campus at one time. This completes this demonstration of the LPAC report tools. Thank you and have a great day.